On a little walk, and I thought I'd make a little video about advisors because it's really important. And I talk about this a lot. If you have somebody who is giving you advice, general strategic advice on your startup, that can be a really powerful thing. Like, it can be really amazing. But it's so hard because there's so many people who say they're good at advice and aren't. So just follow these 4 or 5 things. Number one, they have to have done what you're doing, right? They have to have been able to run a startup, grown it, raised money, exited it, if that's what you're trying to do. Ideally in your space, but not necessarily, right? So they've got to have done that successfully. That means they've had an exit and made a bunch of money, right? If they had a little exit and it was an acqui-hire or some sort of exit where they didn't make much money, it's because they didn't negotiate the terms well and sort of mismanaged it a bit. So in a sense, yeah, they have to have a successful exit and make a bunch of money. Number two, they need to have done a couple of failures, right? They've got to have built some companies and failed and seen what that feels like, what happened to make that happen. Otherwise they could have some success bias, right? So, and when they fail, they've got to have lost a bunch of money, of their own money. Like, they've got to have lost hundreds of thousands. It's got to be 6 figures of losses, because then they really knew what it was to have skin in the game and to lose it and how that felt and how to avoid it. Number 3, you've got to feel better after you talk to them than before, right? So when my test is always, if you talk to someone, whenever I talk to Ned, I feel great afterwards, right? And so I know he's a good guy. If I talk to people and I feel a bit depleted afterwards, that's not cool. You're going to have to talk to them a lot, and you don't want to feel like shit when you talk to them. So it's really, really important. And the last thing is, if somebody wants to be your advisor, just get them to give you a bit of money, like $5,000. If someone can't have $5,000 to give you, then they haven't been successful enough in their life to give you advice. And I know this kind of sucks because it means that you can't give advice if you haven't got money. But listen, if you're a startup advisor and you're trying to sort of give advice to some startup on how do they become successful, and you haven't made enough money yourself doing it, you don't deserve to do it. So I always ask minimum $5,000. You know, sometimes it's more, but it's token, right? If suddenly they can't come up with $5,000, it either means they have no confidence in you or they don't have the money. Both of those are red flags that you should just avoid. So in summary, they've got to have succeeded in what you want to do themselves and made a bunch of money doing it. They've got to fail in what you're trying to do and lose a bunch of money in it. You've got to feel good talking to them. And, you know, they've got to put a little bit of money in it. If that all happens, these guys can be worth a lot. And I wouldn't, you know, I'm having a bit of a chat with the Carta guy about this, because the numbers in Carta say, you know, that you should be giving them 0.1%, and most advisors deserve 0.1% or less or nothing. But if you get a really good one, 5% is okay, right? Like, if they can really drive your company forward and then maybe make it vest, they have to get results. If they can give you intros and get money for you and get sales, if they're saying, I can promise you X, Y, and Z, and they don't deliver it, then you get rid of them. But use that test. If they don't pass those 4 things, don't have them as your advisor. That's I see it so many times. There's too many people giving advice, and there's too many people who don't know what they're talking about.